and welcome to another edition of Rules Unveiled. This time we're going to have a look at Series 5, this first semi-final, Semi-Final 1 or Semi-Final A, who the hell cares? I hope you enjoy. This semi-final signified the first time that Chaos 2 lost in the main competition after 18 consecutive wins. This is the first time Razer and S3, whose predecessor was Sting, has been beyond the heaps. Bigger Brother's defeat of S3 is ranked equal 22nd in the shortest battles in UK Rivals at 29 seconds. The battle between Razer and Spawn Again was a grudge match from the Southern Annihilator, where the former qualified over Spawn of Scutter in round 2. Both of the robots which competed in the final battle of the series, Razer and Bigger Brother, progressed from this semi-final. The Chaos 2 vs Wild Thing fight is one of George Francis' favourite battles. This episode marks the first appearance of the Losers Melee in a UK series, having debuted in the Dutch Walls prior. This episode marks the last appearance of the wedge designed for Wild Thing, which had been a staple for its appearance since Series 3, who would undergo a radically different look for Series 6. Spawn Again and Wild Thing are the only robots to fight in the Losers Melee in both Series 5 and Series 6, and lose on both occasions. Coincidentally, they both lost the same Losers Melee in this episode. Spawn Again was the only 13th seed to reach the semi-finals in this series, in which it was seeded. S3's two losses in this series were that to the series champion and runners-up. This was the only time in the original run of the series that this happened. And finally, there are no newcomers in this semi-final. All robots have appeared in the series before. And that is it for today. Series 5 Semi-Final 1 is, in my opinion, the best Series 5 episode. Having really looked at it from afar, I think this one just hits all the right marks. Because you have such a great range of robots. You've got Razer, you've got Chaos 2, you've got Bigger Brother, you've got S3, you've got Spawn Again. I mean, I don't really like Spawn Again, but still, Wild Thing. And then you have the fights which are just epic in every sense of the word. You have, you have the Razer versus S3 fight, which is fantastic. You got probably the best fight of Series 5, Chaos 2 versus Wild Thing, absolutely pure action. It is unadulterated mayhem, and the closeness of the pittings is just, it is just a brilliant heat. I think this is a fantastic a fantastic episode, I should say. I think all the robots hit the right marks. I think they basically did the best that you can imagine. And I think personally, you have some fantastic battles, not only with the great robots, but you have fantastic battles to accompany them. And, you can have episodes where you have great robots but really bad battles. You have episodes where there's really great battles but not so great robots. This one is the perfect blend of the two, and a good example is just to look at the next semi-final, which is absolutely abysmal. You have all these great robots but really bad battles, and so it really is just a testament of having the right set of robots for the right set of battles, and you just see what can happen. And there's not really any reliability gremlins that pop up here and there. There are a few, obviously, and the Losers Melee, I think Spawn Again breaks down, but it's Spawn Again. Everything else, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I think overall, this episode is just great. Is pure action pack. It gets you excited for the grand final, especially when you see Chaos 2 lose. And the way it loses is rather unspectacular in a weird way. It's a famous battle, obviously, but you'd expect Chaos 2 to lose in a spectacular way, but instead it loses in the most simplest of ways. It just runs out of gas, and there's something about that is just so poignant in a way. You expect it to just get thrown out the arena or something like that, but no, it just runs out of gas, it runs out of steam, and it's obviously, we know later on that Chaos 2 really does run out of steam in terms of competitive spirits because of how weak it becomes against its opponents. But overall, I think this is a great episode. I keep saying heat. Great episode, great set of robots, great set of battles. Everything about it is just memorable, and the Chaos 2 versus Wild Thing fight is not only one of the best battles of this series, or the best battle of this series, I should say. It's probably one of the best battles in Robots in general. It is just fantastic. And that's all I can say about it. But, Series 5 is not a series which I necessarily like, but this episode, this particular semi-final, it just hits all the right marks. So having a look at the randomizer to see what we get next time around. So we're back with Extreme 2, and this time it's the European Championship. So we're seeing Razer once again. Yeah, the European Championship. A very controversial special, if I recall. A very controversial episode, I should say. Well, we'll see you next time.